Aita for kicking my sister out of my home before she could eat. I will set the stage. The other weekend my boyfriend and I hosted our families for the first time since we moved in together. This included my boyfriend's parents, grandparents, mom's parents he grew up with, and his brother, my parents and younger brother and sister. My sister is 18. When she was 7 she got really sick and afterward my parents refused to acknowledge any bad behavior and this sent her out of control. She is demanding, spoiled and selfish and has never apologized for anything she did in her entire life since that day. It always drove me crazy. My brother gets annoyed sometimes but they were closer in age and had more fun with it. I was the grumpy older sister who had to deal with her shit more. So the other weekend they were all here and she was going through our stuff. My boyfriend asked her to stop and she didn't. I made her stop and she was bitching about it. Then she started asking really intrusive questions to my boyfriend's parents about why they let his grandparents live with them. Right before dinner she said she wanted pizza, not whatever crap I had made. My boyfriend told her we weren't ordering pizza just for her and she said she didn't want to eat my shit. I was so tired of her disrespect that I told her to get out of my house. She was shocked I kicked her out and thought I was joking but I told her she was not welcome in my home if she was going to disrespect me like that. My parents are pissed I would kick her out in front of other company. I told her I was tired of the disrespect and she was acting like a child. They said I shouldn't have been bullying her. My sister is pissed that I would kick her out before she could eat but she made it clear she wasn't going to eat what I prepared and we were not willing to pay for her to get takeout. Aita here. Should I have said nothing while my boyfriend's family was there? NTA your sister sounds awful and well done for standing up to her. Your boyfriend and his family will likely think better of you for doing so. Generally, she's annoying more than anything but she crosses the line far too often for me. NTA I wonder if your parents will have a different opinion 10 years from now when she's still living at home and nothing has changed. Maybe. Or maybe they will see their little miracle as someone who should never be punished or made face the consequences of her actions. NTA, family or not, that's your and your BF's home. If someone is disrespecting either of you, your home, or your guest, you have every right to kick them out. Emo you should have kicked your parents out too. Looking back you're right. NTA, she goes through life thinking who's gonna check me, boo. The answer is life. Life is gonna check her. You just gave her the preview. Aita for telling my sister's friend not everyone is rich and privileged like her when it comes to weddings. Most people think I should have kept my mouth shut. We'll let you, the strangers of Reddit, decide. My sister, 29F, got engaged to her fiancé P, 34, 9 years ago. They are still engaged and going really strong. The reason why they didn't have a wedding is because both of them spent whatever they inherited and saved up to pay their loan for college and had to start fresh. They didn't have a problem with that and neither did my parents. It was their money and they decided how they wanted to spend it. My sister wanted a big wedding but things didn't go according to plan them. Her fiancé was diagnosed with cancer and whatever they were making, they were spending it on his medical bills and rent. Now, they have decided they want a small wedding sometimes around next year. My sister's friend, who got engaged last week, invited me and her to her small COVID-safe party, and when she addressed the crowd, half of her speech was about my sister. She called my sister poor, dumb and not driven, indirectly, because she is now settling for a small wedding. She implied all these things and everyone in the crowd understood. The rest of the party was awkward, and while I was talking to some other people, I saw my sister coming out of the bathroom and she had been crying. I asked her and she confirmed it was about what her friend had said. Before leaving the party, I went up to her friend and told her because she had a trust fund and rich parents helping her throughout her life, she didn't essentially have to lift a finger to survive, graduated college 7-8 years ago and still doesn't have a job. I told her my sister was a fighter and that she was so much more braver and smarter than she will ever be, and left. She apparently cried to her friends and I got some colorful text messages, but I don't care. It's when my sister's BF and my other brother told me that I should have kept my mouth shut, I am having second thoughts. My sister is grateful I stood up for her but also thinks I took it too far. Aita? NTA she opened the door, and in front of everyone, and you responded with truth. Sound like a great sister. My sister's friend, who got engaged last week, invited me and her to her small COVID-safe party, and when she addressed the crowd, half of her speech was about my sister. WTF? I told her my sister was a fighter and that she was so much more braver and smarter than she will ever be, and left. Good for you. NTA. That friend is not a friend. Sister needs to drop her. What a nasty person. Aita for not letting my parents stay with my kids for long periods of time because of my brother. I, 27F, have a sister, 26F, and a brother, 15M, who is autistic. When he was 2 he was diagnosed with autism. From that moment on he was my parents' absolute priority. While I get it now, 14 years old me did not. It was like I woke up one day and my parents became very different people. Lots of money were spent on various types of therapy, lots of time were dedicated solely to him, lots of special occasions for me and my sister became second thoughts to my parents. They were not terrible parents, but a lot of the things they did before, like having meals with us every night, picking us from school, became our nanny's responsibilities as my parents were focused on my brother. I resented my brother first, and with time my parents. The one positive thing was me and my sister becoming best friends. I left for college when I was 18 and my sister left for the same college the year after. We lived together the whole time. Neither of us really missed home, because who misses feeling like a second thought? We only went home for the holidays. In the summers we did car trips and had a blast. When I was 21 I met my now husband. The 3 of us, me, sis and him, became super close. After that he joined our summer trips. We got married 2 years later and had twins the following year. The kids are now 3. We stopped the trips after the twins were born, but after their first birthday we decided to go on 3 weeks vacations annually. When they grow up we will make sure to adjust the trips so they can join us. Right after my sister finished college I got a job near our hometown. My sister had no reason to stay where we were, so she moved back with us. My husband's parents live close, just 2 hours away, and my parents and my brother still live in our old house 15 minutes away. For the first 2 trips after the twins were born we left them with my Mill and Phil. They are amazing grandparents. Well, this year it clicked to my parents that my girls were obviously not going with us on the trips. They asked who had watched the twins the first 2 times and I explained that my Mill and Phil had. They asked to keep them this year and I said no, but thanks for the offer, we appreciate it. They wanted to know why my Mill and Phil could have them for long periods of time but they couldn't. I was honest. Said that I do trust them to babysit for short periods, as I know they would never neglect the girls in those few hours. But I don't want they to have them for 3 weeks. They need a lot of attention. And so does my brother. And while I don't think they would do anything on purpose, I'm afraid they will end up too focused on my brother and temporarily forget the twins need their attention as well. They accused me of hating my brother, I don't, and said that I was a horrible sister. They said I was punishing them for caring for my brother and preventing them from bonding with my girls. My sister and husband agree with me, though, but I fear they are just too close to the situation to judge. Aita? Natar, you have valid and sensible reasons. Your parents are emotional, but to not have noticed for 2 years your girls were not with you and were obviously somewhere, to me just shows what you've said. They are preoccupied with your bro and just unaware. Not a bad thing, but a truth. A truth that you've accepted and you live your life with that knowledge. They can visit your girls over the trip time, but I agree it is a huge thing to watch twin toddlers for longer than a day. Lol, God bless your in-laws and have a safe and awesome trip. NTA, you are the parents, you get to make the choice who watches the kids. NTA, you didn't blow up, you didn't rage, you responded politely and truthfully. You know that you parents focus on your brother because you lived it. Would they neglect your children? Probably not, but would your children get the same level of attention and interaction as they would with Mill and Phil? No, it's logical. If this were a daycare program rather than family members, then you wouldn't be feeling bad. Also, toddlers need a lot of attention. You basically spend most of the day preventing them from accidentally killing themselves. Between feeding, cleaning, diaper changing, etc. Taking care of twin toddlers is even more time consuming. They would definitely neglect them unintentionally. NTA. Your parents did what they thought was best for their children. You get to do what you think is best for your children. Edit. Wow. Thank you for all the awards.